Jake, what you doing? Is it coming out okay?
The one and only Dr. Peter Boghossian. Welcome. Today is the 80th anniversary of D-Day.
This is D-Day.
Joe Biden, he did a little speaking event, and why don't we see how that went?
Poop.
Biden was spotted awkwardly fumbling for his seat during the D-Day ceremony.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin III.
What is that?
Secretary of Defense of the United States of America.
Who got it? Let's get a better angle.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin III, Secretary of Defense of the United States of America.
I think the man just pooped himself.
He called the shit poop.
I think the man just pooped himself. Fumbling for a toilet seat is right. Now, I didn't necessarily, I'm not very familiar with octogenarians, nor am I familiar with children. I'm 34. I'm single. I'm not around. We were just talking about how, my family isn't that close. So I'm not around people who are not my age that often. So I didn't necessarily even see, I saw it as weird, but it wasn't until everybody on Twitter was like, if you're a parent, you know exactly what just happened. I'm like, what are they serious?
Deadly serious.
He pooped his pants? And then he called me Jack. I enjoy listening to talking heads tell me how sharp and aware Biden is in private meetings while he poops himself before a live audience. This is an even better angle than we had before. So again, shaking Macron and his wife. Oh.
Distinguished guests,
and look at the face. Oh.
Please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin.
And so, you could argue that he was just trying to sit, but he wasn't sure if he should. Yeah, fair, maybe.
Probably not.
I'm just saying that independently, a lot of people were like, that's the other thing. After this, he didn't, he left the stage. He was supposed to shake all the veterans' hands and all that stuff. There we go. This is it.
Jake, what you doing? Is it coming out okay?
So M169 said, I have experience. That is what he was doing.
Pooping!
I'm a parent, and I, too, take care of my dad, who lived to almost 95. And the idea here is not to make fun of the elderly. The idea is to try to point out when you act like Trump being old and Biden being old is the same thing.
One of these things is not like the other.
Nah. And Dylan said, but also, why is a frail old man acting as the leader of the free world? You're going to get me in trouble. I said, a lot of people say a lot of things. Does it mean it's true? I need more than just this clip. Yeah, I'm trying to look for some more of the longer context. Yeah, so they whisked him away while the French President Macron and his wife were there to greet all these veterans. Like all the veterans, they just he's supposed to shake their hands and stuff. The top trending topics: diaper, pooping, pooped, and did Joe Biden?
Sometimes he shits himself.
There's already an account, Joe Biden pooping alerts. Because again, I didn't see it that way, but everybody else was like, yeah, bro. So they did see, and again, if it is just the fact that, oh my God. So obviously, nobody knows for real, but a lot of people were saying, hey, I recognize what's going on there, just like M169 was. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What did you think? Did Biden poop himself? Yes or no? Apparently, Laura Loomer was on Timcast recently, and I missed that one. Nothing against Laura Loomer. I just happened not to catch it. But Kyle Kulinski put this video out, and let's just watch.
He was talking to Laura Loomer, who we all know is a far-right figure and a MAGA-type person. And they're talking about the criminal trial against Trump, where he was found guilty, 34 felonies, yada, yada. You know the drill. And the live stream cuts off abruptly. It cuts off after Laura Loomer says something. Let's go with not good. Watch this.
I'll put it this way. Should Democrats be in jail? No question. When Donald Trump gets elected, should he start locking them up? No question. Should there be lists of Democrats that need to go to jail? 100%. And the reason for that is they committed crimes. We need to make sure that when Donald Trump wins, we've got an attorney general, a deputy attorney general, a head of the CIA and the FBI. Kash Patel would be fantastic. We can have attorney general. There's some names floating around. And then they can start having their investigators and the feds issuing subpoenas, pulling up
Did you guys see this? Did you guys see this already? I hadn't seen it, but yeah.
evidence, and with real evidence, bring them to judges for warrants. Then these people can spend three
Laura.
years of their lives fighting tooth and nail for the crime against the government for crimes they committed, and we can prove. Yeah. And the reason why we put them on trial is that we can show the whole world we will uncover what you've done. We will make sure everyone knows, and you will be held accountable for it.
So let me just pause to point out, on paper, everything he's saying is actually totally fine, right? If you find real evidence of crimes committed by various powerful Democrats, I'm your Huckleberry.
But also, I'm going to make fun of you and put in conspiracy theories about you.
Go for it. There's a lot of war criminals. There's a lot of corrupt goons, not just in the Republican Party, but also in the Democratic Party. So on paper, I actually totally agree. Where I disagree is I don't really trust Tim Pool's judgment as to what constitutes an actual crime. I just don't buy that he's going to be objective and fair when look. Yeah, I think that's a crime. Ready?
Everyone knows, and you will be held accountable for it.
Not just jail, they should get the death penalty.
Hey, you can't do that.
You know, we actually used to have the punishment for treason in this country.
If you are a fan of Tim Pool, you know that it's very common that before the show, he will make sure everybody, you can't make any allusions to violence. You can't do this.
Sorry, them's the rules.
And because there's such a big show, like, you know, we can, like somebody like Kyle can play it, I can play it, it's probably going to be fine. But they, you know, they're up there and they've got, you know, eyes on them waiting to take them down.
Not just jail, they should get the death penalty. You know, we actually used to have the punishment for treason in this country.
So as you can see, she says that, boom, feed immediately cuts.
And notice how Kyle's over here having a grand old time. He's like, oh, look, yeah, look. And I'll come back to that.
And you will be held accountable for it.
Not just jail, they should get the death penalty. You know, we actually used to have the punishment for treason in this country.
So before he even says anything, I don't think that Tim necessarily needed to cut the. I think he was just playing it safe. Because she didn't actually call directly for somebody to go and commit violence. She was stating an opinion that legally that would be the punishment. I don't know. They just throw this bullshit around. But again, look how happy Kyle is.
Having a great time.
Now, look, if somebody's watching this and they think like, oh, there's obviously just some sort of a, you know, like a technical issue or whatever, he has a problem with his internet, whatever it is. If you thought that,
again, he's very clear about the fact that, hey, YouTube will take us down if we break YouTube's rules. Maybe, Kyle, you are not so sensitive to that because on your side, you can say whatever the hell you want. And as long as it's not like directly illegal, sometimes even being illegal.
What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
Then everybody will leave you alone. She already said the bad thing, so why cut after the fact? I think it's about playing it safe.
I'm just being cautious.
So if she had said it, and then they had kept going, then a YouTube rep could have been like, you know, could have get them in trouble or whatever. By cutting the feed, then Tim is now saying, I am not in favor of what you just said. And so it's putting him, you know what I mean? So if the show goes, then now it's part of Timcast. Oh, they say this, that, the other. And exactly. Kyle would never get censored. That's why he finds this amusing. And the conclusion that he comes to is exactly because he would never get censored. Harley said there's some random off the wall comment. Too bad he cut it a little too late. Did he remove the whole stream? I don't know. That's a good question. I would assume so. I would assume it's still on Rumble and everything, but I assume they took it off. But again, the idea that, like, obviously he can't cut it before she says it. He would have to go into the future for that. But again, I think the idea is, hey, I'm Tim Pool. I'm showing you, YouTube, that even though this occurred on my show, that I'm not willing to stand by this. I'm saying no, this is not okay. He said, to be fair, if you aren't getting censored, it's because you aren't talking about the right things. That is something I would agree with. Let's see if Kyle agrees.
So I don't know if you guys remember this. Tim Pool got really, really mad at one of his guests. I believe this guy's name is Jesse Kelly or something like that. Right-wing freak. And listen.
Well, right-wing freak, you got to editorialize. You can't just say this is what he does. But again, and you're socialist should know that. The idea here that you're just going to poison the well, and then look at the clip he shows, and again, the conclusion he comes to.
Into this back and forth.
I think it's only fair that I don't take the heat for what you said, Jesse, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm getting people.
This is from a different show. This is back in January.
People attacking my character now. I had to take the show down because you made 2 allusions to killing people. So I'm not trying to be a dick right now, but like I've got 500 messages of like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you taking the show down? Are you fucking with us? You're trying to make money.
So I thought YouTube took the show down.
No, I had to take the show down.
Okay.
I had to take the show down because you made 2 allusions within like the span of a couple minutes to murdering people.
Right. Okay. So again, Tim saying I chose to take it down because I don't want to be somebody who has this stuff on my platform. Seems fair. Seems fair.
Reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, whether you agree or disagree, anything anti-Israel is just yeeted out of there. But, you could say anything you want about the other side. Top down is right. M169 said, is everyone to the right of center, the far right to this guy? Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That's most of the left, right? Shout out to Dylan Soup. Welcome. All right, so let's back this up a little bit.
Down. Are you fucking with my character now? I had to take the show down because you made 2 allusions to killing people. So I'm not trying to be a dick right now, but like I've got 500 messages of like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you taking the show down? Are you fucking with us? You're trying to make money.
So I thought YouTube took the show down.
No, I had to take the show down.
Okay.
I had to take the show down because you made 2 allusions within like the span of a couple minutes to murdering people.
Okay.
After I explicitly stated in the pre-show, do not make allusions to violence. Okay. Then went on to explain, we keep having people come here and saying they want people killed or people should kill people or they can be killed or things like that. 18 minutes.
So that's why they say specifically and explicitly before the show starts, don't do this thing. That seems responsible. That seems like if you're having tough conversations, that would be a good rule, right? We would want that. And if we don't like Tim Pool and people of that ilk, then just at the beginning of the video, he was ready to be like, oh yeah, I mean, I'll give you credit where credit's due. But again, look at the conclusion that he comes to here.
And so the question is, can we have a show if we persist? That show would be deleted and that would be the end of it.
Okay.
So all I can do is say, okay, well, that's it.
So in other words, Tim Pool keeps having these guests who advocate for murdering people, and it gets him in trouble, and he finds, fuck, just delete it, cut it off. And I guarantee you he lit into Laura Loomer. Soon as that camera went off, homie probably went inski. He went.
Okay, and again, Kyle, why is that a bad thing?
Where's the problem?
If somebody is advocating for violence, and you don't like that, and Tim doesn't like that, what's the issue?
So, Tim, couple pro tips.
Guy's a pro.
Maybe.
Hey, shout out to the one and only Dr. Peter Boghossian. Welcome to the party. Always a pleasure to see you. So, yeah, this is a conclusion he comes to when they both agree that calling for violence is bad.
Couple pro tips.
Pro tips.
Maybe.
Pro tips. How many subscribers does he have? 1 million. Okay, and how? I mean, solid 1 million subscribers. But how many live shows are you doing?
I think none.
How many actual politicians are you talking to?
None.
How many anything are you doing?
None.
Oh, nothing. Awesome.
Maybe stop inviting people on the show who keep calling for fucking murdering people
that are only monitored on one side.
That's the conclusion.
Brilliant.
It's not that these issues are so deep that people get passionate and say things out of pocket. It's that he's specifically going out and finding people who he knows will call for violence so that he has to cut his own show and take off. What are you saying, bro?
Make it make sense.
What are you saying? Are you telling me that on the leftist mafia thing, they're not calling for violence? I'm pretty sure we had a summer just a few years ago. What did they call it? The summer of hate. Oh, no. That was too on the nose. So they call it the summer of love and irony.
Fiery.
Most peacefully.
It's like, bro, if you had a show and you talked to this many people about this important stuff, and again, as Ian said before, if you're not getting censored, you're not saying the right things. It's just insane that you can't see
The hypocrisy.
that having these conversations is inevitably right, left, center, or whatever is inevitably going to get people to that place. There's a reason that left or right, you have to say, hey, don't make calls to violence, because left or right, people will do it. But because this happened to be Laura Loomer, and he doesn't like Laura Loomer, and because he doesn't like Tim Pool, and because he doesn't like, well, who's the other guy? Jesse Kelly, I'm just going to throw in a little jab and be like, hey, pro tip, bro, pro tip. I bet you he could fucking buy you, Kyle. He could buy you.
as somebody who's in a similar business.
Are you though? Yeah, you're in the similar business to Tim, the same way I'm in the similar business to you. Like, technically, but would you be taking pro tips from me, bro?
It would probably help out a lot.
Why would Tim ever take a pro tip from a bleach blonde
goose from a...
Yeah, and so because he's a psychic, come on, and this guy already irritates me. Yeah, but Dylan said, remember when Kyle was actually responsible? Yeah.
Many years ago.
That's why that's why I still follow him, even though he does this. You know, he was pretty influential in terms of me moving from the default liberal who thought I was, a real liberal, watching MSNBC and CNN, to kind of like, okay, see, like there's liberal and then there's not so liberal and then there's Republican, but it's not as simple as left and right. But that was a long time ago. Harley, so they agreed to those terms before the show started. If they have that much of an issue to not follow those rules, then yeah, don't have them on. But again, how do you know that until they break the rule? She's been on, Laura Loomer has been on the show many times and has never made calls to violence. She's a sitting Congress member. Like, what are we? It's not like it was the leader of the Boogaloo Boys or something. And again, the arrogance that he has.
Maybe stop inviting people on the show who keep calling for fucking murdering people. As somebody who's in this similar business, that's my professional advice to you. And also, by the way, look, this doesn't come out of nowhere. And he even...
Right. It doesn't come out of nowhere. It's almost like there's things going on that make people angry on both sides of the aisle that in their heads want to call for violence, but the rules, don't allow that, because obviously we don't want people calling for violence. But Whatever happened to writing as the voice of the unheard? What happened to that? Come on, bro. Just stop that. So you wouldn't have anybody who participated in any of the riots in 2020. You wouldn't talk to any of them. They have nothing to say. You would have no reason. And a pro tip would be to make sure that you don't talk to them at all. That's how you figure things out. That's how you change the world.
Been sort of hinted at it here. The fact of the matter is, this has happened probably multiple times before, and a YouTube rep and a Rumble rep reached out to him, and they were like, "Look, dog,
yeah,
you're about to be fucking kicked off the platform."
Right. So that's why he tells people not to do it, and then if they do it, he cuts the feed instead of agreeing with it or going along with it. What is it that you would like here, Kyle?
If you keep having people call for murdering people, right? Like, no matter how lenient.
All right. And so, he just goes on like that. And so I just wanted to share that to kind of show the lack of charitability. I mean, take Tim Pool himself. You might think that he's biased and this, that, and all the rest. But at the very least, he tries to show his biases out front. Would any of you even have caught the right-wing freak thing about the other guests if I hadn't called it out? That's not what honest people do. And since some Muslims have recently chanted called for jihad, Antifa attacks people for protesting peacefully, BLM riots, burns things, etc. Some people talk about violence. Some are doing it. There you go, Amber. On point. That is exactly what I was trying to get to. And you said it better than I could have. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. That's the hypocrisy that I saw. Not that we shouldn't be calling out Laura Loomer. Not that we shouldn't be, whatever. But the hypocrisy that I see with people who claim to be fair. That's not fair. How is that fair? Insane. And it's just back and forth and over and over and over and over again. The lack of charitability. If your ideas are so good, then why do you need to, speculate and throw dirty words, not dirty words, but you know what I mean? Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.